Hello everybody, and welcome back. And this week, as I promised, we will be working on method of sections. And at the end, we will also be using method of joins to verify our work. So we will get a chance to practice both methods today. Before I move forward, I would like to remind everyone with an engineering degree from outside of the United States, if you would like to evaluate your education in this country, I have put together a PDF guide with step-by-step instructions on how to do just that. Click the link below and you'll be able to download it for free. So grab yourself a pen, a paper, and maybe some coffee too, and let's get to work. Here's our problem. The problem reads, in the pinned jointed truss shown, what is the force in members BE, BD, and DE? Let's start by first identifying the zero force members. But right away, I'm looking at node D, and I'm noticing we have three members. Two of them are collinear, meaning that they are equal and opposite in direction, which leaves me with DE being a zero force member. Next, let's calculate the reactions. Sum of forces in the x direction equals 0, resulting that HA equals 5,000 newtons. Sum of moment in point A equals 0, resulting VH times we have the whole length is 40 meters minus, we have three forces of 5,000 newtons. So we'll do the following. We'll do 5,000 newtons, and in parentheses, I'll have the arms, which will have 5,000 newtons. The first arm is here 15 plus 15 plus 5, which is 35 meters, plus the second arm, 5,000 newton plus 20, and plus 5. Next, I have 5,000, this force here, horizontal force, which is going to be minus as well, minus 5,000 newtons times 10 meters equals, we don't have any more forces, so it equals 0. From here, it results VH equals 240 at the bottom, 5,000 times 35 plus 20 plus 5 equals 300,000 plus 50,000 over 40 equals 8750 newtons. So our VA equals 8750. Now let's go and calculate VH. Oh, VH actually. So VH equals 8750. Let me delete this. Now we'll do sum of moment in the H, in point H equals 0, resulting VA times 40 plus 5,000 newtons times 10 meters minus 5,000 newtons. And I will do the same thing. First, we have 35 meters plus the second arm is going to be 20, and then 5 meters. And we don't have any other forces, so all this equals 0. Results VA equals 300,000 minus 50,000, results VA equals to 6250 newtons. Now that we have reactions calculated, we can move on and calculate the members BE, BD. BE is a zero force member. After sectioning the truss here, we will get our truss looking like this. This is the section we will going to use. By doing the sum of forces in the x directions, I'm noticing that I will have three unknowns, which is not going to help me. So I'm moving forward with sum of forces in the y direction. In the y direction, the only unknown I will have force BE, which is great because this is the force that I have to calculate. So let's go ahead and do sum of forces in the y direction. Equals 0. I have my reaction 6250 minus 5000 minus FBE. Now, let's see what is the y component of force FBE. Force FBE is the hypotenusa from the right triangle with the values as shown here. So based on that, we can calculate the y component of force FBE, which will be 10 over 1803 times force FBE. And we don't have any more vertical forces. So this equals 0. So sum of forces in the y direction equals 0. We get the reaction BA, which is 6250, minus force, this force 5000 newtons, and minus the y component of force FBE, which is 10 over 1803 times FBE. From here, we'll be able to calculate FBE equal to 2253.75. In order to calculate force BD, we can do the following. We can calculate the moment either in point C, which will get rid of force FCE, which we don't know, or I would rather calculate the moment in point E, and in this way, we will get rid of force FBE and FCE. I think this is what I'm going to do. So let's calculate the moment in point E. Sum of moment in point E equals 0. Let's see. What will we have? So right away, we will get rid of these two forces. We are going to have VA times 20. So 6250 times 20 plus this force, 5,000, horizontal force, 5,000 times 10 plus 5,000 times 10. Next, we have force BD minus, it's in the opposite direction, FBD times 10. And we have another force here, force, the 5,000 Newton force, which is minus 5,000 times 15. We don't have any more forces, so this all equals 0. From this equation, force FBD equals to 10,000 newtons. So there you go. We have calculated our forces BE and BD using method of sections. Now let's move on with method of joints. We'll start with joint A. We have the reaction 6250 pointing up, the horizontal reaction 5,000 newtons, and the forces FAC and FAB. The force FAB, if you look at our truss we are able to compute the hypotenusa from the right triangle. Let's go ahead and do sum of forces in the x and y direction equals 0. FAC minus 5,000 newtons minus the x component of force FAB equals to 5 over 11.18 times FAB equals 0. From here, we will calculate FAC equals to 5,000 newtons plus 5 over 11.18 times FAB. Now let's go ahead and do sum of forces in the y direction equals 0, resulting in 6,250 minus the y component of force FAB is 10 over 11.18 times FAB equals 0. From here, FAB equals to 6,250 over 0.894, resulting FAB equals 6987.5 newtons. Now going back to our first equation, since FAB is 6987.5 newtons, FAC will be equal to 8125 newtons. Now moving forward, let's go to joint C. See, we have force AC is in tension, and a force AC is 8125 newtons. We'll have force CE. Here we have the 5,000 newtons going downwards. And force CB or BC going upwards. From here, FCE equals to 8125 and FBC equals to 5,000 newtons. Now let's move to node B, where we will be able to calculate BD and BE. So here's our joint B. We have two unknowns, FBD and FBE. Also, I have these values from the right triangle, 5, 10, 11, 18, and 10, 15, 1803. You can compute them looking at the right triangle, at this right triangle, and then this right triangle. Let's move forward and calculate and do sum of forces in X and Y direction equals 0. Let's start with sum of forces in the X direction equals 0. Resulting 5,000 newtons minus FBD plus the X component of force AB is 5 over 1118 times 6987.5 plus FBE, the X component of force FBE, which is going to be 15 over 1803 times FBE. From here, FBD equals to 5,000 newtons plus 5 over 11.18 times 6987.5 plus 15 over 1803 times FBE. Let's go ahead and do sum of forces in the y direction equals 0. We have the y component of this force right here. It's going to be 10 over 11.18 times 6987.5 minus the y component of this force is 10 over 1803 times FBE and minus 5,000 equals 0. From here we can calculate FBE. FBE equals to 0.555. 6250 minus 5,000. From here, FBE equals to 2252.25 newtons. Now let's go back in the previous equation and replace FBE with this value. And this will give us FBD equals to approximately 10,000 newtons. That's it for today, my friends. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give it a like, because this helps people like you find me. Keep up the good work on practicing the FE problems, and I will see you next week.